Hello, my name is Nick, and I'm excited to be with you today. My goal in the next 10 minutes is to show you how empathy will reduce self-entitlement, and in doing so, we'll be helping to solve the world's preeminent humanitarian crisis. Every day, our children are bombarded with destructive messages of bullying, self-indulgence, and entitlement. What we will share with you today combats these negative messages with a message of compassion, self-awareness, and optimism. We will show you how very small acts of kindness from our children can have a huge positive impact in the life of another child who is suffering to find even basic needs like food and water. The formula to encourage kindness is surprisingly simple. Teach empathy in an exciting and engaging way so our children feel what it's like to walk in someone else's shoes, to feel their struggles, and then give them the opportunity to take action. Over the next 10 minutes, let's take a walk in someone else's shoes and learn practical ways to make a real impact. Amazingly, it doesn't take much to make a big difference. So press pause on this video, gather your crew together, and get ready to master the positive effects of empathy and crush the negative effects of self-entitlement. And just a side note, if your crew is older than about 11, let them know this next video is aimed at a younger audience, but the message is still important. Okay, let's watch and see what it means to walk in someone else's shoes.
Okay, I think I can guess what your morning is like. It takes a while to wake up. Eventually, you get out of bed and get dressed. Maybe you forget to eat breakfast. Hopefully you remember. But before you go out the door, we all do something very important. All important, but not quite what I'm thinking. That's right, before we go anywhere, we all put on our shoes. Of course, everyone's shoes are different. Have you ever thought what it would be like to walk in someone else's shoes? If you put on a pair of cowboy boots, could you imagine riding horses and herding cows? I wonder if cowboys get lonely out there. Could you imagine yourself in sports shoes, being a great basketball player? I wonder if they feel anxious when they play a really important game. What about high heels? Could you imagine yourself as a movie star in front of millions of people, getting a special award? Do you think you might be scared up there, in front of everybody? So when someone says you should try walking in someone else's shoes, that means you try to understand what it would be like to be that person, especially how they might feel inside. Can you imagine what it might be like to walk in these shoes? These shoes are different than all the other shoes we tried on. But what if they were the secret to an amazing adventure? Would you try them on?
Okay, I'm curious what your thoughts were from that little segment. I've provided some questions for you to discuss and explore everyone's understanding of empathy. Feel free to add your own discussion topics too. Okay, go ahead and hit pause as you talk about these questions. Welcome back. I hope you had a great discussion learning and pondering a little more about empathy. This next video might be a little hard to believe. We are going to visit a site where real children are fetching water every day for their families to use for drinking, cooking, bathing, and all their water needs. Keep in mind, these water sources can be really far away, so these kids might walk for miles every day, missing out on the opportunity to go to school or play with their friends. Wow, that water sure looks nasty, and I imagine it is full of disease. Did you know over 1 billion people worldwide have no access to clean water? 1 billion! It's hard to believe with all the advantages we have in our life that so many people still struggle with scarce and contaminated water issues. Like before, we have added some questions. Just hit pause and discuss them individually. Well, I can only imagine some of the discussions that must have been going on. I wonder myself how my life would have been different if I were forced to fetch water every day. I certainly don't think I could have gone to school or have the job I have today. There is no doubt seeing people in extreme poverty with only contaminated water to drink is sobering. But what if a small action on our part could make a big difference for someone else in need? Well, thanks to the remarkable invention of the village drill, our award-winning nonprofit Who Lives can provide a lifetime of clean water to a person in need for only $5. I have a very important question for you. Now that you know there are those in need, would you be willing to give up a small treat in your life so a child on the other side of the world could have clean water for the rest of their life? Here's how it works. By going without a simple $5 item like popcorn at the movies, a dessert at a restaurant, or even a couple of sodas a month, and then donating that $5 through our Who Lives charity, another person will get your life-changing gift of clean water. It is just that simple. Now, of course, an adult could just pay the $5 for the child, and everyone could keep their popcorn, dessert, and sodas. But you see, that defeats the whole purpose. It's not just about helping others. It's having our children not only learn, but to actually practice empathy. It is giving them the experience. If you just pay the $5 for them, you might give them a good example of charitable giving, but you also rob them of the incredible feeling of personally helping others. It is their small, consistent sacrifice that puts their life in perspective and enables them to resist peer pressure and to build character and self-confidence, which helps them defeat all the noise and messages of self-entitlement. And that makes all the difference. Plus, donating what you would have spent on a treat anyway is budget neutral for the family. It costs you nothing extra to help another person. It's a win-win. What science has shown over and over is once a child experiences the euphoria that comes from helping others, it is almost magical. They begin to look for more opportunities to help others and show empathy. We especially see this when they are at school and with small actions. They continue to look out for others, creating a positive change in themselves and in the world. Okay, let's quickly watch 3 examples of how adults and their children work together to practice this gift of empathy. Here we go.
Mom, can you buy me a candy bar?
I could, but what if we put that money towards getting your friends in Africa some clean water?
Oh, that's right. Let's do that.
Hey Shauna, I signed you up for the Well Done team. So, what would you like to do to help someone get clean water every month?
Well, every Saturday we go to the drive-thru after the game. If I get water and don't order a soda, can that money we save go towards clean water?
Absolutely. That's a great idea. Way to go, Shauna. What a great way to help someone else.
So, Bobby, I signed you up for the Well Done team. What do you think you want to do to help your friends get clean water?
We always cook a big dinner on Sundays. If I help cook dinner or clean the house up before people come over, could we trade that work to help someone in Africa get clean water?
Wow, that would be really wonderful. I'd love the help. That'd be a great way to pay it forward.
I hope you got a couple of good ideas from that segment. It is still hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that if I go without a couple of snacks a month, I can easily donate the value of those snacks through Who Lives, and in return, a child will get clean water and will no longer need to fetch that dirty, nasty water every day, and they can now go to school and play with their friends. It totally changes their world. It is just amazing. I can also see now how if lots of kids got involved, they could quite literally change the world. Well, let's wrap things up. What I am about to say may seem obvious, but I think we need to reinforce it. Simply stated, children that are actively helping those in need are much less likely to live their lives with a sense of self-entitlement, to bully, or to tolerate bullying of others. They gain new respect for the many blessings they have in their own lives and a deeper understanding of those less fortunate than themselves. In short, If you want happier, kinder, less entitled kids, create opportunities for them to serve others. So here's something we can do right now to make that difference and change the world. On your cell phone, simply text the word empathy to 71777 and follow the directions. Here, let me show you. Simply type the number 71777 and then in the message section, just type EMPATHY. It is just that easy. Remember, it is through these small efforts that great change will come about. If you agree with what you have heard today, please pay it forward and become our ambassador by following the instructions on how to tag and let others know what you are doing, and then challenge them to join you. I look forward to seeing your kids succeed, and I send you all my best wishes. Thanks again for spending your time with me today. My hope is that our message will inspire you and those you love to change the world.